You still have, what, 70, 80, 90 years. And we are rolling. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. If you are new, welcome. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. The elephant in the room is that it's been a little too long since I've last made a video. I've been going live like twice a month at least. It's been a struggle, mostly because I've been struggling with lung allergies, so like I've been coughing a lot. So every time I try to shoot a video, I start coughing. The other thing is I've been doing a ton of work on creating and running classes and workshops that sort of took away time from doing the regular content. The additional complexity here is that I've also been unearthing my purpose. I feel like I've been alluding to this for a while, but just recognizing that, okay, like tarot is just like the tip of the iceberg. Like what is like the deeper underneath the iceberg thing that I really want to like tap into and talk about and share with you guys. I built out Figures Academy where there's 21 days major arcana, find your North Star. I also teach business classes, and now I'm launching a brand new workshop called the Soul Growth Program. And the purpose of the Figures Academy in general is to help you move up the different levels of consciousness. And by the way, like people move up and down, like depending on what's going on in their lives. So the goal is to give you tools and strategies to really stay on course and continuously go into the direction of your purpose as opposed to steering away from it. Which is a perfect segue to this video, which is we're gonna do a pick a card on what your life purpose is. Now I know there's people out there who are gonna say some shit like there is no purpose, very like nihilistic. The subtext to asking like what your life purpose is does human life have meaning? And an even deeper subtext to that question then is human life valuable? And the obvious answer is yes to all of them. I mean, we can agree to disagree, but I think every human life has value. If you don't believe that, then my God, I hope you don't get too powerful so that you don't become a tyrant and start killing people. I refuse to believe that we're just a bag of bones traveling through space. If that's what you actually subscribe to, if that's what you actually believe, good luck, because you will live one either miserable or meaninglessly irresponsible, but perhaps kind of fun life. But even then it wouldn't be that fun, because after a night of binge drinking and meaningless sex, you're gonna be like, what have I done? Studies show again and again that growth leads to happiness. Like sacrificing short-term gratification for a long-term goal or meaning is what actually leads to happiness. Like this has been proven over and over again. Inherently shows that we're not just brainless, soulless Neanderthals. That's what I think. Not only do I think, it's what I believe. And let's just say life doesn't have meaning. Let's just say there is no purpose. Let's just say you're here for no fucking reason, right? Let's just assume that for a second. You still have, what, 70, 80, 90 years to live on this planet. I mean, you might as well make it good. What I often see in people who don't believe or want to believe that they have a meaning or purpose in life, that has like a trickle-down effect on every area of their life. They have no purpose in their friendships and relationships, in their career, in their day-to-day lives. It's like nothing means anything and they just end up wasting a bunch of time. And by the way, that meaning and purpose is allowed to change. You know, you could choose to have a meaning today and then maybe a year later, after giving it like your best attempt, realize like, you know what, that was not my purpose, and that's okay. And if you don't have a direction, it's like you're gonna waste time doing God knows what, spending time with God knows what kind of people, doing God knows what kind of things. And if you want to live your life like that, good for you. I just wish you the best, and hopefully 20, 30 years down the line, you don't look back and go, what the fuck was I doing? Now all this time has passed and my body is aching and now I can't do the things I actually want to do because I spent all this time doing shit that I didn't mean to because I didn't put any thought into it. I feel that so many people right now are so caught up in macro discussions, like geopolitical discussions, like economical, political, social discourse and diatribes, like that they lose sight of their own life and their own meaning in life. It's almost like trying to fix someone else's problems because you don't want to confront your own. I see that a lot, and that's an issue. That's an issue because honestly, the world's not gonna become a better place unless you address your own shit. It's just simple mathematics. Anyway, enough with the rant. I also feel like I don't think I said anything super groundbreaking. I feel like this is pretty common sense stuff. So like I said, we're gonna look into your life purpose, but keep in mind this is allowed to change. Also, please keep in mind there's 3 piles and there's like 7 billion people on this planet. Extrapolate what applies to you, and also know that there is going to be greater levels of specificity and granularity depending on who's watching, so it doesn't just end with this pick a card, obviously. And finally, please subscribe, like, share if you enjoy this video, and I will see you at your pile. Pile 1. Okay, so I don't know the cards, as usual, but this one will take a bit of a unique format, only because it's not like divination per se. I mean, there's some predictive elements in here, as you'll see, but I'm just gonna try to channel as much as I can what comes through the cards, as opposed to the linear order of the cards or anything like that. So let's dive in. If you picked a pile 1, saving the best for the last, let's get into a tarot. 10 of Swords. Immediately we're getting career change. If you have not already gone through a career change, you're like, it's time. Then 3 of Swords. Nice. 4 of Swords reversed. The Lovers reversed. 9 of Cups reversed, and 6 of Swords reversed. Okay. All right. The feeling that I get immediately is that you made a change. Well, I don't want to talk about jobs or professions here, because purpose is much greater than that. The feeling that I get is that every time you try to pursue your purpose or your goal, it was almost hijacked by someone else's wish. It was someone inserting themselves. And by the way, I don't even think it's like parents. I almost feel like it could be a romantic partner being like, well, I need you to like pay the bills for me, or I need you to take care of healthcare, or I need you to whatever. So you always found yourself like being the dutiful, responsible person and taking care of everybody else around you but yourself and your own needs, and that kind of just like derailed you from your life path. It could even just be, you know, like if you have kids, or I also feel like for some of you guys, what I'm also hearing is that like you've been through like a really terrible breakup, which we all have, and well, breakup or loss or a heartbreak, something that like really just like put a knife through your heart, and it just took you so much time to recover from that. And I completely understand that. Like when you go through something major in life, that's a huge energy hemorrhage to like heal from that. I mean, if you have spiritual tools, like hopefully you can like recover and have a roadmap as far as like how you can move out of it. But if you don't, you can just kind of feel like your life is falling apart. So whatever personal setbacks there have been, that really just like kind of derailed you a little bit from not only your path, but being able to like really hear source, hear your higher self. I do feel like you're kind of coming out of it with the 4 of Swords and then the Lovers reversed. So this is interesting because I think what kind of pulled you out of it was ironically social media and the internet. I think once you saw like how the world functions, like how other people live their lives, like some like new careers that are emerging, kind of like being an influencer or being a YouTuber, maybe even like drop shipping, you know, like I think coaching industry is really changing, whatever it is, like whatever the domain that you're interested, like once you start consuming information and like playing around on the internet, you were like, oh, people are out there doing this shit. I could be too. Like technology and the internet is a huge theme here. I feel like the only reason why you're not just like going for it, is because you're kind of, you don't want to, I feel like you've worked so hard to like heal whatever it is you went through that you don't want to like do anything to topple that confidence or esteem that you've built. You don't want to put yourself out there only to have like haters or viewers or commenters, or maybe even just like it doesn't have to be just internet, right? Like you could be working in tech or whatever and your coworkers and teammates being like, dude, what are you doing? Like you want to really like go to that company or get into that role? Like doesn't make any sense. So you're afraid of criticism and you don't want to topple or ruin the inner peace that you've worked so hard to cultivate. I want to get to the purpose part. It's coming out. It's coming out. Nine of Cups and the Six of Swords reversed. I feel like in some weird way you're meant to be a whistleblower. I don't know why. Like it's almost like you're, and when I say whistleblower, I don't even mean like whistleblowing against like bad behavior at a job or a company. Like I almost feel like you're meant to challenge, oh, this is gonna sound kind of bad, but bear with me. I'm gonna make it good. I feel like you're meant to challenge people's standards. Like whatever, and when I say people, I mean like society at large, right? Like whatever standard society has created as like, this is good enough, you know, the white picket fence and the 9 to 5, and then you work till you're 40 or 50, and then you retire, and then you collect your 401k. I feel like you're meant to kind of like challenge that and be a whistleblower and be like, are you sure that's good enough? Because literally the feeling that I get with these cards is like, you are almost here to like shit on people's dreams. And that sounds terrible, but the thing is you're only letting, ooh, oh my God, I just got chills when I said that. So that there's something there. You're literally meant to push people to aspire for better and to even challenge traditional forms of goals or dreams. You know what I mean? Like the fairy tale, like you're meant to challenge that and go, but is it really that good? Is it really all that's cracked up to be? Like you're really here to rock the boat on a really big way. The Nine of Cups is like wish fulfilled. It came out reverse, so it's kind of like you're like, are you sure you want that wish fulfilled? Or is it just like a pipe dream? And even then, is it a pipe dream that you want? Or is that a pipe dream that is truly gonna make you happy? And I think on a very deep subconscious level, you know that that's like dangerous to do that. So the Six of Swords reverse came out, which is about like, okay, if I want to pick this battle, if I want to fight this fight, I got to be very careful. That's the energy of Six of Swords. So there are some clues about what your purpose is, but I also feel like it's directly connected to this like recent personal loss or heartbreak that you went through. My cards just like flew. So they're like, read me. And I'm like, oh, hang on. So with these coming out, I actually feel like maybe the losses that you've experienced or like the heartbreaks that you've experienced was because of your strong opinions. You know, maybe you had friends or family who were just like, why can't you just be satisfied? Why can't you just be happy? Why do you want to keep like trying new shit and do new shit? Like, why can't you just be like grateful for what you have? And you're like, because I want more. Maybe you work really hard to like get into a good company or a good school or whatever, and you're like, well, I hate this shit, fuck this. And like, and then maybe a partner was like, but I need you to keep your job to do X, Y, Z. And you're like, but no. And then they left. You know, that's a really extreme, oh my God, I'm sorry. That's a really extreme scenario, but something like that is coming to mind where like your literal purpose was diametrically opposed to or threatened someone else's dreams, like someone else in your life. And that of course is like not pleasant, and you like were thoroughly heartbroken because of that is kind of what I'm getting. Anyway, enough talk. Let's keep going. Ooh, oh wow. Okay, where should we begin? I'm using 3 different decks. So so this is kind of connected to like the Piscean age. So in Piscean age, it was like the age of the guru, right? Like you worship somebody, like you put somebody, like monarchy was also very Piscean age. Like, oh, like God chose this king or this queen and everyone else is just like a peasant or whatever. Or like, you know, God chose like the Pope or whatever. So God came out reversed. The God archetype came out reversed. It's so funny on camera. It looks like it didn't come up reversed, but it actually did. And the storyteller came up right. So what this means is you're literally here to challenge Piscean age qualities and characteristics. You're here to debunk it and say, that was a story. Whatever, you know, I don't want to say the Bible is a story. I don't want to say that because so much of what the Bible teaches, in fact, religion does play a role. I have to admit, it does. It helps us not commit certain crimes, right? It provides some kind of blueprint. It doesn't provide nothing. There's also horrendous things that the Bible talks about. But anyway, you're really here to challenge the notion of like, God is within us, not outside of us. That's what you're here to like teach people. And remember what I said about like you're here to like challenge like fairy tales? Like I just think that you're here to like rewrite, reorient the things that we traditionally used to worship as a human species. So the storyteller archetype also tells me that maybe you're here to like rewrite like value systems or rewrite standards. Like your medium or your tool is to definitely like storytell, to like share, to like write or speak or whatever, make videos. That's definitely your medium, and it's to challenge traditional power structures, goals, belief systems. That's why the God came out reversed. Gotta be careful when I talk about anything like religion or God related, because people can, you know, get so sensitive, but I think I made myself pretty clear. And as if that was not enough, I got faith reversed and rejection. Could it be any more on the nose? Like, isn't this a little bit eerie? I'm telling you, I don't know these cards in advance. So let's not get crazy here. You're not here to reject faith. That's not your purpose. But once again, it has something to do with like reorienting, redirecting. Because notice this card is orange. It's the sacral chakra, and faith is purple. It's the seventh chakra. So okay, so what I am getting is that you're really here to help people come back down to earth and be grounded in their bodies, in their inner God, in their inner moral compass, as opposed to constantly trying to look for a guru or look for someone to worship or look for that next best thing, because you're like, hey, everything that you're seeking is actually inside of you. So you're helping people here to rediscover faith within themselves, as opposed to looking for an outside savior. I can't believe like how consistent the messaging is. See, what is the niggling feeling inside of you, right? Like this like feeling that's just like, just like, it's like poking you. What is this feeling inside of you trying to tell you? Like, you know, and I feel like for many of you guys watching, this feeling has been inside of you for a very long time. Like, I almost feel like the minute you were born, you're like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, what is this matrix? This bullshit. Like, I think you felt that the minute you came onto this planet. So this is interesting. Do something to change your energy. Focus, please. Yes. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. I almost feel like you're blocked. Like, you know this inside of you. Like, you know that you're really here to challenge the matrix. If that was a better way to explain it. But it's like matrix tied to like power structures and authority figures. Anyway, but I think that you're blocked because like you're just, you know, it kind of goes back to you not wanting to put yourself out there, like feeling like you're going to get criticized, or like you're going to get canceled, or like your coworkers or your employees could like criticize you. By the way, apply this in your life in the way that makes sense, right? Like, I'm not saying you have to go run to be the president, but like even within your own company, even within your own team, even within your own family, if there's bullshit rules where someone says my word is the Bible or whatever, or my word is the law, like you're here to challenge that. That is your life purpose. So like make it work for you, but definitely the what's blocking you is like fear of rocking the boat, which I completely understand. I feel like that's what I do for a living, and it's not easy, let me tell you. But what I'm getting is that technology can be your ally, and you're afraid of using that as well, because a Lovers is reversed, and this does mean technology. So I feel like there is a great opportunity for you to play a huge role during this lifetime on this planet, if you can overcome this block, overcome this fear. And I think you have to recognize that nothing easy was ever achieved like overnight or during the sleep. Like, people had to work for it, right? So what can you do to sort of like move through your blocks and move through your fears and really fulfill your life purpose? I feel like once you figure out how to tackle that, then it'll be like smooth sailing forward almost. And maybe not smooth sailing, but I do think that things like doors will open up and like helpers will appear. I mean, that's how manifestation is. Like, the minute you choose to walk into your path and get into alignment, like opportunities just come flocking your way. So I have an extended pile that shows how things are going to play out over the next few months for you, and a deeper read into your purpose. This is for members only. So if you'd like to watch this portion, please check out the link in the description. Otherwise, it was a pleasure reading for you. And please drop a comment. I would love to hear from you. Take care. Bye-bye. Pile 2. Let's take a look at your purpose and why you were here. Pile 1 was so intense. Holy crap. Whew. All right. So I explained this in the first pile, but this is a little bit different from my traditional way of reading. There is no linear like timeline. It's a little less divination-y. So I'm going to focus more on what comes through to me. Okay. 9 of Pentacles, upright. The Death reversed. Great. 5 of Pentacles, upright. 4 of Cups, reversed. Amazing. The Chariot, reversed. And Ace of Swords, reversed. Okay. Interesting. Well. First of all, right off the bat, what I'm getting is that you're super independent, like, and you like it that way. Like, you like to get shit done alone. You don't really like to ask for help, receive help. You already have pretty high standards. I think you ask and demand a lot from yourself. You might even be a perfectionist, and that kind of paralyzes you because you're like, well, if it can't be perfect, I'd rather do anything at all. That's like the energy that I get immediately. I'm also feeling like maybe you spend more than you need to. That's kind of random, but that kind of comes to my mind. There's definitely an ego death you're going through, but you don't want to go through it for whatever reason. Like, I feel like you're kind of rejecting this path that you're being invited to go down with a death reverse. It's almost like you kind of want to hold on to your perfectionism. You want to hold on to your old identity, and you just kind of want to be like, well, it worked for me. It helped me stay alive this whole time. Why would I change? But on a deeper level, you recognize it's not working for you anymore. All right, well, the 5 of Pentacles and the 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups is reversed, 5 of Pentacles is upright. I feel like your purpose, it has to do with creating abundance. It has to do with creating material wealth. However, you don't want to do it through an occupation. Okay, so let me unpack that, because this is kind of like tricky to interpret. I feel like you believe in creativity. I believe that you believe in abundance and wealth for all. Like, I think that you're really here to create structure and stability for mankind. However, you don't believe in working or a job, mainly because you think they're boring. Like, like, it's almost like even if you ran like the most successful company on the face of the planet, you're like, that shit's still boring. Like, I almost feel like you don't believe in, I almost feel like your purpose is to, oh my God, it was on the tip of my tongue. This is gonna sound odd, but it's almost like you want to eradicate the notion of opportunities. Like, your purpose is to stop people from like seeking opportunities. Like, you almost don't see the point of that. That's so weird. Does that make sense? It's almost like you're like, well, abundance and money and wealth should be like a birthright. Like, why do you have to go seek it out? Like, this shit's boring. Like, it's boring to have to like go through this cycle of like a college and a job, and it's almost like you believe everybody has a purpose that they should immediately fulfill without having to prove themselves to anyone, and actively like changing or fixing oneself to meet someone else's purpose or to work for someone else is like bullshit. Like, there's some like, I don't want to call it weird, but there's a belief like that's like lodged inside of you. You might even be interested in like economics, to be quite honest, and you're super interested in like redefining like how economy works or something like that. Anyway, Chariot and then the Ace of Swords reverse. Okay, so this is where we have to be a little bit careful, because I feel like you're deeply confused about what success means to you. The reason why I hesitate so much throughout this reading is because I almost feel like you want the prize without even having a purpose. And I know that sounds so harsh, and I understand that's kind of like my job to tell you what your purpose is, but this is what's coming through. You're kind of like, well, why can't success and abundance just be a birthright? Like, why do we have to work for it? Like, why can't people just like, just pursue their purpose like as soon as they come out of the womb and just like be rich. There's some weird like I just want to warn you, there are some steps that are kind of missing, and like maybe you watch this and you're like, actually know what this means, and maybe I'm completely wrong and you're able to interpret in a way that works for you. I don't know, but I'm actually feeling like you have tremendous potential to have a ton of success if you have clarity over what it is you actually value. Because clearly you value, you believe in expansion, you believe in reward, you believe in output and impact. But the vehicle to get there, oh my God, there you go. The vehicle to get there is what you're ultimately confused about. So I think it might be worth studying, you know, political structures and the economy or something like that, because I actually feel like you know what, this is the other thought just like flew into me. You might be really into manifestation, and you might be really into like spells or, you know, whatever it is people do these days to like manifest. Like you might be really into that, but I think on a deeper level you're kind of confused about, you know, like a step in the law of attraction process. Like, because you know, one of the steps of law of attraction is still action, right? So you're kind of like, well, why do I have to do the action though? Why do we live in this world where like action still matters? So there is something there that you have to look into and explore, because maybe your purpose is to explain that to people, why action matters. Maybe your purpose is literally to or simplify that process for people. Maybe your purpose is to actually help people like manifest things faster. There's definitely something about abundance, and you help humanity achieving it in the fastest, most efficient way, and you're not happy with the way currently this world is set up, where people have to like jump through all these hoops to get what they want. I think that you believe that's bullshit. So your purpose is to expedite and accelerate the way in which people achieve their abundance, maybe even for yourself, but you first have to figure out what that is. Does that make sense? Oh my God. Like, I feel like, oh my God, this is actually difficult reading. You're gonna have to let me know in the comments if this makes sense at all. And please also, like, I tell this to people all the time, but apply it into your life. Like, make it fit. Like, if you are a nurse, you can make this fit into the narrative of being a nurse, right? Like, maybe you see how the patients can heal faster, or get something done faster, or get a procedure done faster, whatever. But you're just tired of all the bureaucracy and the red tape, and so maybe your job is to like hack that or like shorten that process. Oh my goodness, does this make sense? Please let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. So maybe, you know, I also get like very much like a projector energy here. Like, you're very insightful and you're really good at finding shortcuts. So your job is to literally introduce that so that people can get to their desired goal or outcome as quickly as possible. But you know what? Like, it's so funny that these cards came up this way. I also just got a headache. So what that means is that you think a lot about this. The way for you to make that leap, quantum leap, as fast as possible is to like accept that you're going through this change, because there is like an ego death that's happening. Okay. I feel like there's some pride that's happening. All right. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is why I didn't want to see this before. Messiah and Martyr. Martyr is reversed. I mean, Messiah speaks for itself. Serving humanity with humility. You're literally here to serve other people, but not at the cost of oneself. Not by not being a martyr. Once again, this is about, oh, that's so interesting. Helping others without killing yourself. I mean, that's quite literally the energy of the tarot that we just read. I feel like you want people to embody this within themselves. I think you want people to figure out a way to get what they need and help themselves without going through unnecessary hurdles and steps. Does that make sense? This kind of ties all together. You're definitely going through growing pains. This is about the ego death that I was talking about. Once again, I think it's because you're trying to figure out what this means for you. I think you're trying to figure out like what this looks like for you. You're like, well, like what am I so passionate about that I want to like create shortcuts for? Or like, I think you're even thinking like, is that virtuous? Like, is that the right thing to do, to even like suggest or recommend like hacks and shortcuts? By the way, I'm all for that, so I'm with you. But you're going through some growing pains of accepting this. you know what? I also think you're really here to help people overcome their growth pain. You know what? I actually feel like you're probably the person that tells everybody that something can be done faster, and everyone's like, no, 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 it can't, there's no possible way that something can be done faster. And you're like, no, here's literally how you can, like, you know, heal your wounds faster, or like solve this math problem faster, or like get to this destination faster. And I feel like people resist a lot. They're like, no, dude, like you have to pay the price, you have to pay your dues. There's no such thing as like overnight. And you're like, no, like time is valuable. So the only way to sometimes move to your goal faster is to grow fast. And people don't want to grow, right? People don't like change. And you're here to tell people, dude, suck it up and do it anyway. I'm so curious what the comments are going to say. It's really important for you to get grounded. And what the fuck did I just say? Birthing new creations. Birthing new creations. That's what you're literally here to do. Dreaming a new world into being. Yeah, you know what? I feel like you think the world is really inefficient. I think the way wealth is distributed, the way resources distributed, you believe is super inefficient. And you're here to just literally birth new structures. And you can start within your own home. You can start within your own, you know, friend group. I think the only reason why you have not been able to pursue this is because you're super sensitive. I mean, it says that you're empathic. The way to diffuse this like tension that you feel when you try to introduce like new ways of doing things for people is for you to connect with nature, to like give yourself the energetic protection. Wow, I love how the reading just like evolved from the beginning. So you're really going from like this Nine of Pentacles energy to like the Chariot energy, the leader energy, from being solo independent to being a leader, so that you would bring abundance and reject traditional ways of getting abundance because it's just too slow moving for you. Crazy. I can't believe that's how the reading came together. That's insane. So I have this extended portion that's going to look at how this purpose will like play out for you, and also a deeper read into the purpose. So I hope this reading resonated. I hope to see you at the extended portion. It's in the description below. Otherwise, I hope to see you at the next video. Hope you enjoyed this. Take care. Bye-bye. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So I already explained this in the previous piles, but this is not like a traditional divination type reading. There's going to be elements of it, but it's not really linear. And I am just sort of like more like channeling what's coming through to me. All right, great. The Star reversed. The Tower upright. The Hermit upright. Ace of Cups upright. The Devil reversed. And Six of Cups reversed. Huh. Okay, wow. Well, let me tell you this. The purpose, I mean, listen, my viewers, I feel like I attract like very unique, and I mean that in a good way, unique and cool viewers, because just like the purpose that are coming through are just so hardcore. Okay, the Star and then the Tower. What I'm getting with this, I feel like you are really concerned about, I feel like there is some healer energy here. Like whoever's watching this, like you're kind of meant to be a healer in some way. I feel like you believe that humanity has strayed so far from the spiritual path that you're just kind of like, oh my God, we're doomed. And you're trying to not let yourself get into that pessimistic headspace. I feel like you're meant to, I want to say create, but I want to get more specific. You're here to be almost like be a writer, like a communicator. Like this is a classic case of a mystic who goes through, you know, that shadow work stuff, that the dark night of the soul comes out and becomes almost like this like beacon of light for other people. That's kind of what I get here. But right now, before we even get to that point, right now I'm just feeling like, oh my God, like what is happening in this world, like everything's in the shitter, or like you just don't, or I also pick up nostalgia here. Like you feel like things were good before and now like the world is going backwards. So you're feeling a little bit pessimistic. So, and I also feel like you are very connected to your higher self and your guides. Like you're deeply spiritual, maybe even psychic. And you're someone who likes to translate the downloads that you get like into written form or spoken form. And I also feel like you have this deep, deep, deep love for humanity and deep love for like spirituality and the spiritual path. And I almost feel like you're here to show people that the spiritual path is not an absence of pleasure or passion. That just flew to me. Like you're here to show people like, hey, like don't denounce faith, don't denounce the spiritual life or spiritual path. Like spiritual life is actually full of joy, and you can express and live your spirituality through your vocation, through your profession, whatever it is. Because this signifies love, this signifies mysticism, and I feel like you're here to introduce people the pleasures and the benefit and the value and the joy of leading life through a spiritual system, or by having a spiritual structure in one's life. And I actually feel like you feel like that's the way people can get out of this shitter situation all around the world. I'm also getting with the Devil reversed and the Six of Cups reversed. See, this is all tied to this mystical card. I feel like, oh wow, okay. So the Devil that I just got is that you're also here to alleviate addiction, like find a solution for addiction and suffering for people. Now, I know that sounds really lofty, but the key word is addiction. Like I almost feel like people who, and the specific form of addiction here is also love and attention and attachment. So you're almost here to heal people from like their attachment wounds. So you could easily be like a counselor, a coach, a therapist, maybe even already a healer, whatever it is you do. You're here to help people fall back in love with themselves, finding a relationship with the divine and God within themselves, and tell people like it's okay to be single, like it's okay to be alone, it's okay. There's tremendous pleasure and there's tremendous joy in a solitary walk or something like that. Does that kind of make sense? Like, because I think you're seeing that society is too addicted to external form of pleasure. Oh my God, that's exactly it. You're here to show people that you're here to show people the dangers and the peril of an addiction to external pleasure, one of them being addiction to the other. And you're here to show people like that's bullshit. There is greater pleasure and greater abundance in finding joy in a walk with yourself. There's definitely some like intersection between joy and pleasure and spirituality here, in a way, as a way to heal like this addictive patterns within people. Interesting. Let's look at your archetype cards. We got this card, Miser, Midas, but this also means the ability to like turn anything into gold. Entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything into gold. Delight in sharing life's riches. Okay, interesting. Let's put a pin on that. And Saboteur. Mind you, just to add a twist, both of these cards came up reversed. And they're both green, which is about the heart chakra, which is all about healing. And it's literally... Well, the Saboteur makes sense, right? With the addiction thing, you're really here to help people stop self-sabotaging by finding love within themselves and discovering their relationship with spirituality. But with a Midas and Miser, I feel like you're really here to help people figure out a way to turn their pain into, I don't want to say pleasure, but pain into some kind of a motivator, because it's all about the entrepreneurial or creative ability to transmute something, to transmute pain. That's what you're here to do. And the reason why both of these cards are reversed is because you're really trying to, because both of these cards inherently are starting from something negative, right? It's either like with this card, you're starting from pain or like lack of this card you're starting from pain, and this card you're starting from lack of resources. That's why it's reversed, because You're really here to show people like, hey, this thing that you have that doesn't seem very ideal, there's opportunity here to turn it on its head and turn it into gold. There's an opportunity and a chance for you to turn your suffering and your addiction into something that works for you down the line and fuels you. That's the whole spiritual journey, right? So interesting in the heart chakra. And then we have the womb and also reverse, the womb and peace. This is classic childhood wounds, you know, attachment wounds, parenting wounds, because of the womb card. You know, maybe mother wounds. Like, you're really here to help people find peace with that. That's the root of most addictions, right? Like some unmet needs from childhood. You're really here to help people find peace within themselves for that. You know, I don't look at the cards ever before I start shooting, and it amazes me every single time at the cards that come out. So you're really here to help people find peace with their own childhood like scars. And let's see, oh, one upright card. You are not alone. So relevant. You're here to tell people you're not alone, even if you are alone, even if you are single, even if you have not been in a relationship, even if your parents passed away, whatever, like you're not actually alone. Your ancestors are here with you. You're here to share that with people, and also longing for home, belonging. This came out reverse, but I actually feel like this came out reverse because it's almost like going upward. Like you're here to take people upward. Like your home is not here, your home is up there. Your home is not suffering pain 3Dness, your home is 5D. So cool. Oh, chills. I have an extended pile that I'm sharing with the members. The link to this is in the description below. We're going to look at how this purpose will play out for you over the next few months, and also to examine your purpose a little bit more closely. So I hope to see you at your extended portion. If not, I will see you at your next video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.